guys are way too close. You guys are all up to my mustache. How is everyone? Hello. I hope you guys are doing well. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever time you are at, whatever time zone. I was gonna turn on an incense, but I think I might have a minor headache coming. It's just I need to sleep, that's why. Okay, I'm gonna wait a few more minutes to see if anybody comes on, and then I'll go ahead and get started. I want to talk about some book I just started listening to. Thought it was a very interesting coincidence of a book. And then I went ahead and I pulled, because I sat here and I thought about, this video and passing on this information. And of course, I was drawn to, picking up some oracle, some tarot card, and I ended up picking oracle of oracle of shadows and light. And before I even ask a question or anything, I'm just thinking about like the book and the message and just everything, a whole bunch of positive. And I went ahead and I shuffled, and of course we got our first card that came out, and I thought, this is perfect. This is very, very perfect. And of course I start to read on about the book. So this one here is the 3 fates, and it says here, what comes around goes around. And the book that I started listening to, pretty much what it's about, is law of attraction. And I'm reading on to the oracle card, and of course it mentions exactly that. What you put out talks about the past, and who's really I actually want to read the whole thing on here. So I guess we could go ahead and do that, and then I'll talk about the book, because I don't want to be back and forth. All right. So I hope that tool is not loud. And I have to open the window because it just felt so closed off in here, and I have to close the door. And okay, anyways, so let's first talk about the 3 fates, which is pretty much about this card. It's happening again. Many of us have faced difficulty and troubled times in our lives. Sometimes the impact of a negative experience is so profound that it leaves us physical, mental, and yes, spiritual residue for months. Which is very true. Okay. Even years after the actual event. So with that being said, it talks about, a negative incident that happened in your life. Something that impacted your life in a negative way. And of course, it's like a cycle. It keeps coming around and around. And it's kind of like you brush it under the rug, that dust, the residue, and you keep brushing it under. And instead of really cleaning it up and throwing it away and forgetting about it and moving on, and thinking in your head and have the way you feel, like, oh, it's clean, my house is clean, like it's clean, it's good, happy feeling, happy vibes, everything. Instead of doing that, we brush it under the rug, and it's still there, Okay, while you're still vibrating, as the three fates put it, as you're still vibrating, as you're still breathing, you're still living your life. That's what that means, pretty much. To the energy of a negative experience. So, kind of what I was talking about right now. You know, this is a negative experience that keeps coming around and it is affecting you spiritually, physically, mentally. You may be good for a week, but then it pops up again and it's negative and negative. It's a revolving door, it's a cycle. Let me start that sentence again. While you're still vibrating, as the three fates put it, to the energy of a negative experience, you tend to repeatedly attract echoes of the exact experience. That sentence reminds me so much about the book I'm listening to, Law of Attraction. What you put out into the universe, you will receive that. Just that. If you are being negative, you will receive negative. If you are being negative towards your bills, something's going to break in your house. Your phone bill's going to be higher next month, and you're like, why? If your relationship is going sour, if you talk bad about your partner, or if you say, I don't feel loved, I'm not, in love with my partner, everything's just going down the drain, that's exactly what you're getting in return. Guarantee. Guarantee that's exactly what you're getting. So when you need to be alerted to the fact, three fates will enter, showing you that this is a karmic pattern that may need to be worked on, understood, and recreated in order to be free of its influence. You may feel that there are others in charge of your fate. That they are, so in other words, with that one, you may think, oh, well, the electricity man, they're charging me $1,000 for my electricity bill. It's all their fault. It's no. And it's just like with your partner. It's all his fault because he doesn't want to communicate. It's all her fault because she doesn't know how to cook, or she doesn't know how to do anything around the house. No, no, and no. I want to finish that one in a bit, that whole topic. Okay. Um, there are others in charge of your faith, that they are threading the needle, weaving the patterns of the tapestry of your life, even choosing what ends and what begins. So, this could happen at a very young age where you feel, now at this point in your life, you may feel like, I don't feel loved. So take a look at why you don't feel loved. Where did it all start? What happened? Who made you feel this way? What did you do differently? And the book that I was reading about, it talks about it. Could have gone through so much experiences in your life. It's not about what you've been through, but how you react to it. That's what stuck on to me. It's like, that's very true. You can have gone through so much negativity, so much of feeling not loved, so much pain, so much neglect, so much abuse. But how are you reacting to it now? Are you still feeding on to that pain by thinking about it, by reliving it, and keep feeding it? In other words, like crying about it. You're not thinking positive about it. You're not like, once you start to say, you know what, I'm proud of myself. I'm loved. I'm happy. Once you start talking like that, then it's like, okay, you're making progress. But if you start to say, well, my parents never loved me, my husband never loved me, he abused me, you start crying and, being all in this dark hole, you're feeding onto it. It's that cycle, and then before you know, you get distracted because you're cooking or whatever. It's, you keep that cycle alive. Let's see. Mm. When you feel that faith has interceded and that you are not so much in control of your life, but in control of your reaction to what happens in your life, then you are beginning to work with intelligence, maturity, and understanding. Mhm. So you're not so much control of your life, but you're in control of your reaction. That is kind of what I just talked about. And then you are beginning to work with intelligence, maturity, and understanding. So that's, hold on, you guys. Wait just a minute. Okay. With the energies of destiny, faith, and fortune, the three fates depicted so beautifully here with their ever churning wheel of karma, understand that it churns and turns as your life will. Through it, many things. Hold on, calm down. Through its many themes again and again. So, again, it's like a cycle. You keep reliving it. All right. When you receive this card in a reading, and most especially if she leaps out to greet you, you will know an old pattern has circled around once again. All right. Now the three cards speak. Here it is again. That situation, that person, this lesson that you have yet to learn, and that you may spend a lifetime learning. It seems you need another cosmic reminder of something that needs to be cleared and mastered. Letting go is this moment's very important lesson to you to learn. We are not suggesting forgetting this lesson, because where's the wisdom in that? Exactly. It's not that simple to just brush it under the rug. Be like, oh, it's over and done with, whatever. No. How is your reaction to that? What are you going to learn from that? What are you going to do from that? You can't just brush it under the rug and think that you moved on from it, because later on something will trigger that and you're going to relive it. We are suggesting that you move on and learn and actively replace this experience with completely different versions of the same theme. Different versions. No more repeats. So do something differently. If this is making you unhappy, make yourself happy. This is the opportunity to try something different and see what magic takes place when you vary the approach. You must reconnect with the opportunities you have. Staying attached to old patterns will simply make them come round again. Like a thread being spun on our wheel. Learn and be released from this part of the pattern that feels like unjust fate. You may have been enjoying your own life's reruns lately. This one I'm reading now is the divination message. Walking through the memories and feeling sad, bittersweet, and nostalgic about the good old days, whenever they were exactly. You know what? It's fine to muse on the past. Your memories are precious and do need to be tended. But it's another thing altogether to be filled with regret, wishing you'd done things differently. Life is a constant do over. You get a fresh chance every second you are alive. So stop beating yourself up. You have an opportunity to heal, to clear, to no longer feel sad about the same thing anymore. You can do things differently. You are not a prisoner of how they have always been done. What you have done, even if you judge it to be a mistake, can be reworked and learned from. That is its wisdom. You are so not alone. We all have karmic lessons, themes, stories that seem to repeat. Learn from this. Be aware of what is taking place as a fateful encounter to master life. If you take this approach, you'll be all the richer for learning, wise, free, and able to help others too. I really like that message, especially the last sentences, because that is exactly, we definitely all. Let's go back to the regrets. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't at some point in your life? I know I did. I know for a very long time I told myself I regret not finishing school. But at this point in my life, I still can go back to school. I still can finish. I still can do something of myself in educational, as far as like finishing school, going to college. That's what I mean. I don't mean like, oh, too late, I can't do nothing else with my life. No, I just mean as far as school was now, it has always been a big thing for me. But it was up to like, when was it? Last year probably, where I said, you know what? I don't regret. I don't regret not finishing school. I really don't, because I look at my whole life, all the things that I went through, the experiences, the people, the lessons, the heartaches, the pains, the abuse, everything that I have been through. And right now I look at my life, I see my life, and it's like, you know what? I'm building myself up to be a better person in and out, spiritually, emotionally, physically, everything. And I'm opening up myself, especially now, to much more information, more knowledge, more biography, just other people's life, in other words. And I'm looking at my mine. It's like, no, you know what? I really don't have any regrets. I feel really good in my life right now, and I have so much more to learn, and to get out there, and just there's so much out there. And I mean, school is school, but the information that I'm learning about myself, law of attraction, astrology, for me, that's much, oh man, that's much more to me than ever finishing school, honestly. So that's pretty much what I wanted to come on here and talk about. And the book that I was reading, I kind of, I put these two together, this beautiful card and the book. So the book is called The Secret, and they actually have different editions. And the one that I'm looking into, the one I'm listening to, is the one that says power on it. I'm not sure if it's the power or power. Gosh, it looks so crazy. But it's okay. I literally just hopped on here and I just wanted to get this out and make sure it's out, because we need to listen to this. And just remember, oh, let me finish this book before I go all over the place. Um so yeah, that's what that book is called. I know, like I said, they have other editions. I really want to look into just the one that says The Secret, and it has like a brown, like this type of color. And the one that I'm reading, it's like red and orange and yellow, and it says power on it, whether it says the power or power, but they all say the secret at the top left side. And but yeah, my message here is, law of attraction, whatever you put out, that's what you're going to receive. So if you feel very unhappy, very sad, and you're putting that out there, that is what you're going to keep attracting to you. You're going to keep attracting um, sad people around you. And you might have people who are there for you, but as if you notice, like if you're sad, if you're having a bad day, and your friend comes over and you tell them your problems, and then they become sad for you, and just the whole energy, the whole vibe is just sad and sad. And it's like you may crack a joke eventually, but it's still sad. That person may want to laugh more and talk about something completely different, and but they don't want to be rude in a way to make you feel like you're not being heard or whatever. um so it just becomes very awkward and all that stuff. So think about it like that. So if you want to start attracting good things, happy things into your life, feel that way. It's very important that you feel it. Say it, feel it, and do it. Okay? So every morning I suggest to tell yourself, I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm happy. And at first you might feel that that's not true. You may feel sad inside, but you're sitting here telling yourself, I am happy. And it's wrong because you're saying that you're not feeling it, but it's a practice. You got to keep telling yourself, tell yourself many times throughout the day, and push yourself and visualize yourself seeing yourself happy. And of course, you know it takes time. You'll get there, but don't keep telling yourself that you're unhappy, depressed, because you see it, you tell yourself that, and you're going to keep bringing that into your life. And who knows if you're going to be able to come out of that. You can definitely come out of that, but you have to tell yourself that. You have to put it out there. Nobody can tell you that you're happy. You can get into a relationship eventually after the the heartache and everything, and get into a relationship, but you still feel not 100% happy, healed. And so your partner may think you're happy and everything, but you still feel like you're sad, like you feel okay, but you don't feel good. So you're putting that eventually your partner is going to be like that towards you, and you're going to think, why didn't it work out? Because you put out into the universe that you were not happy, you were not good, you were okay, but you were not happy. So in other words, the universe is like, you know what, let me remove this person out of this person who is feeling pain and hurt and okay. Let me remove this innocent person out of this person who's not okay. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, then people wonder why it didn't work out, like what happened. The first two dates were okay, but what happened. But all right, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video here. And I was hoping somebody would get on. Maybe I'll throw a few cards, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off before I just start rambling and rambling. But I'll see you guys on my next live.